You're listening to Rebel Spirituality with me, Sam Goldfinch. Here's the truth. Wisdom doesn't follow rules. So each week we're going to explore what it means to wake up your way so you can live a more peaceful, creative and inspired life no matter your circumstances. It's time to blaze your unique path to truth. Hey team. Right, so this week we're going to talk about how very often the on switch, if you like, for suffering in our life is the fact that we believe in something, a thought, right? Or we believe that it's giving us information about something that it isn't. And I came to think about this because this week I was coaching one of my wonderful coachees, and we were talking about permission. And this person had kind of said, look, I still feel like I need to give myself permission to do certain things in my life, permission to kind of go out there and, write books, be an author, this kind of stuff. We were having a really interesting discussion around this. And I think this is really common for people. They feel like they know that they can do it, but they feel like there's something missing. They feel like there is this act of permission that someone needs to validate it or something before they're allowed to go out there into the world. And it occurred to me in that moment, for whatever reason, I remembered being at the Three Principles conference, I think a couple of years ago, and listening to Dick and Bettinger talking. And it was really interesting because he said across all of his years as an educational psychologist, he had heard so many different people had come into his clinics and to come to speak to him. And they all had all of these different things seemingly going on, but actually everybody only ever had one problem, in air quotes. And that's that they were believing in a thought, that they were believing in something that wasn't true. And for one person, it's that at some point in their life, they received the idea that they aren't worthy. Or for someone else, it might be that they needed to ask for permission. Or for someone else, it's that they're not enough. And in that moment, they believed in that. They believed in that thought. Now, there's many other people who had similar experiences who, for whatever reason, didn't believe in that thought, but they do believe in other thoughts that aren't anything to do with what they're capable of or the possibility of them. And if you think about it, in any given day, we may have thousands of thoughts. I'm sure we do. If you're anything like me, we're thinking creatures, right? And think about how many of them we kind of just don't believe in. We ignore them. We think they're crazy. Something silly floats through our head and we just kind of laugh at it, right? But there are a few that we say, oh, that one's true. I believe in that one. And very often they're things around being not enough, or that we're lacking something. But actually the way that we can turn the power off these things is in any second we can see through them and we can stop believing in them. We can turn the switch off, right? Because it's not about whether that thing has appeared or not. It's not about whether that thing is there or not. It's about whether we believe in it. And so very often we're kind of battling with ourselves. We're trying to get rid of this stuff. But really, it's about just turning the switch off, coming to see that thought isn't you. It's not the totality of you. It's just something that's appearing, right? It's just something that's appearing on the screen of you. So in many of the non-dual traditions, they use the example of the ocean and the wave. There are things appearing on the wave, and of course they're part of the ocean, right? So as the thoughts and feelings appear in us, there's no separation, right? We're witnessing and aware of them, but they're not the totality of us. And when we believe they are, when we zoom in on one, when we say that thought about me not being good enough, that's true. That has information about me. It's almost like our wide open consciousness kind of zooms in on that one thing and we suffer. We feel the reverberations of that. And so actually just waking up and just realizing, wow, I'm not that, is super powerful. And starting to just look into our life and seeing, where am I believing things that aren't true, right? Where am I caught up in a story about myself? What would it mean to step outside of that? And that means that we don't need to go through every single belief that we have. Sometimes we can just have an insight around something, around permission or around worthiness, and we realize, oh, that's not anything to do with who I really am. And it can be generative. It can shine a light on many other things in our life. So there we go. The off switch. And just this ability that we have to be able to kind of step out of that thing that we've been believing for potentially decades, and through one insight we can realize how that's not true. That's not the totality of me. That's not who I am. That's just something that I picked up along the way. And just because I feel something is true, that doesn't mean it's true. And just because I think something doesn't mean it's true either. I hope you have the most beautiful day, week. I'll see you all soon.